Yeah, I mean, if you look at these three games, this is the best of the bunch, right? So South Alabama opened at a 13.5 point favorite. They're down to 11. I'm going to concentrate on the total here, Steve, which is 56.5. In 5 games versus FBS opponents, and I emphasize FBS because the one game they won 87-10 against Northwestern State. I'm throwing that out the window. So 5 games against FBS opponents, they're averaging a little over 26 points per game. And that's a little bit of a deceiving number considering the fact they're averaging 435 yards a game in total offense. So usually a number like that will get you closer to averaging 30 points per game than 26 in this particular instance. Their defense leaves a lot to be desired in those 5 games versus FBS opponents. The Jaguars are allowing 30.6 points per game and 483 yards a game in total defense. Yet they're 4-1 to the under. And the bottom line is they played 5 games against FBS opponents. 4 of them had totals of 60 or more. Their average total in those 5 games, 61.2 and 57 points per game scored. This total here is 56.5. Very important because you got to do the math sometime. Troy has allowed 211 yards or more in rushing in 4 of their 5 games versus FBS opponents. They lost last week 38-17 to Texas State, but they did throw for 268 yards last week against Texas State, and they're going to be facing the South Alabama team over their last 3 games that has allowed 347 yards on average per game passing. So I think that we'll see Troy being able to move the ball. I think South Alabama has moved the ball all year, and they'll continue to do so. I like the over 56.5 here, Steve, and I'm going to emphasize again because my college football record's been very good. Again, this goes for Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night games. You don't have to bet them, folks, okay? If you can't take this game and put it on the Saturday card and say that this would be one of my best picks of the week, leave it alone. This is strictly an opinion pick from me, but I hope I provided enough for my opinion to be respectful.
It's certainly a respected opinion, Ross. That's why we have you on. And just because I ask you a follow-up question on it doesn't mean I don't respect your opinion about it. That being said,
buddy,
here's your follow-up. All right. Troy, 3 straight unders. 2 of the games they allowed less than 2 touchdowns. South Alabama, 3 straight unders. When they stepped up, when they played other like teams, they gave up 18 to Arkansas State and 14 to App State. The series, nothing but unders in recent meetings. What do we got? I've got the under last year, 20-10, 10-6, 29-0. We've seen a series history that trends to the under. So everything's trending under with these squads. Does any of that worry you?
No, and Teddy, it's never personal, buddy. You actually made me feel bad because when I argued with you the last time on this, we're entertaining too, folks. So I love you, man. Anyway.
Don't feel bad, dude. It's fine.
Having said all that, these head-to-head matchups in college football in past years mean very little to me these days, especially when we get into these non-Power 4 conference games or Group of 5, as they call them now, because if anybody's any good the year before on any of these Group of 4 teams or Group of 5 teams, they're getting an NIL deal the following year, and very, very few stick around. So my point being is there's a lot of changeover in personnel. Having said that, I do think when you look at some of these low-scoring games, the yardage gained in those games were not indicative of the points that were scored. And that's what I'm looking at. And that's a reason why you're seeing a team like South Alabama, who's had 60 or more as their total in 4 or 5 games against FBS opponents, and now they're down to 56.5. And South Alabama, even though Troy has struggled offensively, I'm just looking at South Alabama's defensive numbers, and they can make a team like Troy look pretty good offensively, in my opinion. And I'm not asking for much for Troy, 21 to 24 points in this game. And I think South Alabama get their good share. Something around a 35-24 game here, Teddy, is what I would predict.
It's Ross Benjamin, and he is talking college football. You might want to listen up. You know, Ross, you and I did a lot of NBA solo videos in the spring, and I know we were going back and forth, 1 and 2, different number one rankings. But, you know, if you look right now at college football, it's you and I head-to-head again, my friend, which I'd love to see. Just the last 30 days alone, 76% for myself, 71% for you in college football. So, you know, these might not be games we're using, but our insight is still pretty valuable because we're seeing college football really well. And like Ross said, these might not make our best bet card, but that doesn't mean you can't treat them as like a 1% fun bet right on TV for these weeknight games, you know, as opposed to one of our 4% best bets or whatnot. So, Ross, you're seeing it great. You'll be doing some free play videos throughout the week here. So hit subscribe, hit the bell for instant alerts, and let us know what else you have going on at wagertalk.com.
Well, I'm passing today, folks. I don't like either baseball game. I can't get in front of I can't step in front of a Dodger team that's off 3 shutout wins in a row, although I think the Mets have a decisive advantage with the starting pitching matchup. Don't like the Cleveland Yankees game at all, and I don't like the Monday night game good enough to make it a premium paid selection. I'm not betting it. I'm not giving it to my premium clients. But yes, 108-72 off a 3-2 week in college football, plus 91-72, and that's all the way back since 12-2-2022, 22-11 run in all sports, 18-7 run in college football and the NFL combined, 7-2-1 in the NFL the last 3 Sundays, and 19-7-1 in college football the last 5 Saturdays. So a lot of good stuff there, folks. And right now you can get, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, we're running a special right now. You can get the rest of the college football season from any one of us, including myself, for $2.99. So you want to take a look and take advantage of those offers.